We'll get started in just a minute here. Appreciate the folks who are here. It is mid-February. Not that much of February left, to be honest with you. There's only like 11 days left in the month. So if you are in an area of the country where things are slow right now, it's just around the corner. Spring is just around the corner. We're pretty much over the hump now at this point. I think for a lot of places in the country, February tends to be the slowest month out of the year. We're still in February right now, obviously. So if it's slow where you're at, you might still be feeling it. But there's more business coming, and it's not that far out, just a couple of weeks. So what I was wanting to do tonight is talk a little bit about slow season. I'm hoping this will be my last call or video where I'm talking about slow season specifically, because we're just about done with it. And if you can make it just a couple more weeks, then you should be good. A lot of folks I'm hearing are not as slow as they expected. I'm definitely seeing some people who they're pretty busy right now, busier than they thought they'd be. We have some clients who had best Januaries that they've ever had before. So that's awesome for them. Really exciting to see them making more money than they expected in January. But seasonality is just one of those things that you deal with in the carpet cleaning business specifically. It's not, it's not as bad in every cleaning business necessarily. I talk to house cleaners, and a lot of house cleaners, they don't have the same big dip that people have, especially with their recurring clients. They may have a big increase in business in the holiday season. But carpet cleaners definitely seem to have a big slowdown after the holidays. January tends to start to slow down a little bit. Then February is really slow. March, from what I've seen, tends to be when things start to get a little bit busier. Not for everybody. I had a carpet cleaning business in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, definitely cold and snowy there, single digit temps. And it would get pretty damn slow in the wintertime. We would lose like 40% of our revenue in the winter months sometimes. So we'd go from making a whole bunch of money to making like half that much. So that's just reality in this business. There are things you can do about it. If you're slow right now, there's things you can do about it. And if you want to prevent yourself from getting into a cash crunch situation or a situation where you have to make tough decisions in your business in the future, then you can plan for this stuff and prevent these kind of like emergency situations from coming up. I don't have a huge agenda for tonight. Let me share the email that I sent out just before this call, and we'll use this as an outline. Like I said, it's February. In a lot of markets, it's not as busy as you would be in, like, let's say June, July. So if you're dealing with the fact that your phone's not ringing as much right now, you don't have as many jobs on the books, maybe you're even dealing with customers canceling more often than they usually do, things like that are just part of the game. It definitely hurts more when you get cancellations, last minute cancellations and stuff like that when you're already slow. I also know that we work with some clients at BookCleaningJobs who do a lot of commercial work. And some of them have had commercial clients who are slow rolling their payments and taking a long time to send those checks. And when you're already slow, you can get into a cash crunch pretty quickly. So I thought we would talk about some things you could do to boost your business if you're slow right now. And we don't have to go super, super deep on this. We're not going to uncover anything that's an earth-shattering tactic or anything like that. A lot of this stuff I've covered on previous calls or in other videos. So you may have heard me say some of this stuff before even, but I think it's worth just putting it all together in one place. And then we'll do question and answer at the end of this as usual. And what I'd love is if you have questions, ask them. If you have something to contribute as well, feel free to do that, because a lot of times you guys have valuable stuff to contribute from being out in the field, running your businesses. If there's something that you do that works for you, share it with the group. It'd definitely be valuable. And if you don't do it on the call here, or if you're watching this in the recording later, then feel free to share it in the Cleaning Business Success group on Facebook, because I'd love to hear about it. And I think everybody else would too. If you're slow right now, simplest things that you can do, if you're already working on your website, have SEO in place, running some kind of advertising, if you're doing those kind of basics, you might be thinking, what can I even do? You could send emails, obviously. You could send text messages. You can contact the customers that are most likely to book with you again. That's probably where I would start. You maybe heard me say this before, but if you have customers that hired you last winter, last January, February, March, make a list of all those customers, go look at your records from last year, pull it from House Call Pro or Jobber or wherever. Look at who booked with you last year. Go through that list and see if they booked with you again this year. And if not, give them a call. Maybe it's time for them to get it done again. So go through that list. That's probably your hot list for this time of year, just whoever you served last year. Next thing you could do, make a list of your best customers, your people that hire you maybe more than once a year even. When I was cleaning carpets, we had customers that would call us every 3 or 4 months because they had pets their pets would have accidents, things would just happen, or they just get their carpets cleaned every 6 months religiously because that's just how they live their life. Those customers, I would be hitting up this time of year with some sort of a special offer. If you have something that you can do to really incentivize those best customers to call you right now during this time of need when your schedule is open, encourage them to call you right now. Maybe this isn't when they would normally hire you. And they might say that if you reach out to them, they might say, hey, it's still cold and snowy out. It's still messy out. I might wait until April. That's fine. If they absolutely have to wait until April, they can do that. But if you make them a really spectacular offer to do it right now, they might just bite on it. You don't have to give them a humongous discount or anything. Maybe you could include something extra for your usual price just to go over the top and give them a lot of value for their money. But call up those best customers, because a lot of times they're going to hire you anyways. Whether you come this month or next month isn't going to make a huge difference to their schedule. They might be open to just coming this month. So I would pick out those hot lists of customers that you have, dig into them, see if you can email them, text message them, pick up the phone and just call them. Especially if you have time right now. If you don't have a full schedule, then use that time as wisely as you can to reach out to the hottest prospects that you have in your list. Another thing that you could do, I know a lot of people talk about commercial prospect and they want more commercial business. I get a ton of people that reach out to me and say, I don't even want residential jobs. I just want commercial. If you have residential jobs and they slow down in the winter and you're thinking of transitioning into more commercial stuff anyways, this is an awesome time to start prospecting. You may not win a bunch of jobs if you're just starting out right now, but you have the time right now. So get in the habit, start developing the habit right now. If you're cold emailing, if you're cold calling, if you're door knocking, if you're going up and showing up at people's properties and offering to do commercial demos, this is a great time of year to start those initiatives and to start building those habits if you already have the time right now. And then figure out how to keep those habits going once you get busier in spring and summer. But it's a great time to start some of those habits. One of the things that a lot of people ask me is, what do I do with my employees in the winter? I had employees in my company in Milwaukee, and the situation for us was I didn't have anybody on salary. We had hourly employees. So their schedule would change from week to week anyways. Sometimes in the summer, they were working overtime, so they were getting paid extra. In the winter, it slowed down. We were completely honest and upfront with our employees about how things were going to be in the winter, to the point where some of them would even say, you know what? I have a part-time job that I kind of use sometimes when I need to fill my income. I'm actually just going to, if it gets slow enough, I'll just do that. I had one of my first employees would go run security or work security at a nightclub. So he would do that after work. And the downside was he would show up to work a little tired the next day. But other than that, he was able to bring in enough extra income that it wasn't such a problem for him. I did go out of my way, though, to give those hourly employees as many hours as possible. I wasn't just like heartlessly cutting everybody's hours when winter got there and just saying, you get to work 10 hours this week and that's it, when you're used to working 40. I didn't have it in me to really do that to people. I wanted to keep them busy. And our schedule wasn't that light in the winter anyway. It dropped by 40%, like I said, but that's still 60% of the work that we were doing in a busy month. So we had enough where my employees were coming in every day. We might have some gaps in our schedule. I might need to find something for them to do for an hour or two in the middle of the day, that kind of thing. Or they might clock out a little early because the jobs are finished at 1 or 2 or something like that. But I would find things for them to do. And one of the big things I had them do was clean area rugs. So you could look at different services that you might want to offer in the winter months. We really promoted upholstery cleaning, area rug cleaning in winter months. We would bring in a lot more area rugs every January and February because I would specifically run specials to my customers, especially my best customers that we were just talking about. I would run specials on area rug cleaning in January because I knew historically we would still get area rugs in January. I don't know why. Maybe people kick on the heat in their house and then the smell from the pet odor or whatever would kick up into the air and they'd want to get their area rugs cleaned. So I started running a special for area rugs in winter. We set up a place in our shop where we could do them, and I kept my employees busy with that. If they weren't out doing jobs, they'd usually have rugs they could do at the shop. If I was doing commercial prospecting, what I would have done is had my employees go out and help me with that. Maybe have them stop at a couple different businesses on their route during the week, leave some information, offer to do a demo, that kind of thing. You can get them involved with those strategies if you want to. You could use your employees to door knock. If you are doing a job in a neighborhood and there's houses all around it, do your 5 rounds. The great time of year to do your 5 rounds. Go knock on every door nearby, leave something on the door if they don't answer. But if they do, try to do an estimate for them. Try to get the job. Tell them that you're in the neighborhood already. I'll make it worth your time. I'll give you a good deal on this. Have your employees get involved in that stuff, because if they can do something to help you bring in business and to help keep them getting hours, then it's a win situation. And your employees will also feel like you're actively working on keeping them busy rather than just cutting their hours and going out and doing the work yourself. So that's what I would do with your employees if possible. Some of you guys might have salaried employees. I know I have at least a couple of clients who salary their employees. And that might be a little tougher situation because you are going to pay them the same amount salary in February as you would in July or August or something. And so that might be tough on your finances. Something to be aware of. If you're starting to hire now, if you haven't hired yet, that's maybe something you want to think through. Do you want to be responsible for paying a salary 12 months out of the year if you have a very seasonal business? Are you going to be comfortable paying that salary all months of the year? Where we landed with our business, just to be honest, was no, we weren't comfortable doing it. We hired pretty much all hourly employees. That's how the business worked the entire time I ran it. Sometimes hours were a little bit lighter in the winter, but we worked really hard to keep them busy. One benefit of the season and the seasonality of the business, though, on the flip side was every once in a while, when you have employees, you have one that's just not really working out for you. And if things slow down in the winter and you need an excuse to cut back hours for somebody, you could certainly cut back the employee who's not really pulling their weight. So that might be a strategy you want to keep in the back of your mind within the limits of the law, of course. Somebody asked a question, asked how many vans did I run and employ. When we were busy, we would have 2 vans out on the road. I didn't have a big cleaning company. We were not a massive cleaning company by any means. My main goal with the company was to have it be a turnkey operation that I wasn't involved with. So we'd have 2 vans out on the road when we were busy. We'd cut it down to one van in winter, and usually my guys would share the van. And that was pretty much it. So we didn't have to lay off too many people. For those 2 vans, we typically had 2 people per van. So in the summer, we would have 4 technicians, sometimes 5 even. We'd have a 5th person who would help fill in. And I would try to keep 4 of them on through winter. A lot of times that 5th technician was really just like a summer kind of person. Somebody who was maybe a college student came to work for me for the summer, especially to help with turnovers because we had a ton of college move outs and move ins and that kind of stuff. And then they wouldn't work for me by the time the winter months got there. But my main techs, I would try to keep them all winter long. As long as they were good technicians, I would try to keep them busy. So I didn't have a whole lot of people to be responsible for. And the fact that they were hourly really worked in my favor, because if I needed to cut hours or something like that, or if we just straight up didn't have work, I could send them home. Simple as that. Your employees will understand if you are honest and upfront with them. Don't lie to them and say, we're going to be busy all winter. You're going to be working 40, 50 hours a week in January and February if that's not going to be true. Definitely set expectations with people. Most people, if they're frustrated with their job, it's usually because of unmet expectations. So just set expectations with people really clearly. That's what I would recommend you do with your employees. Specials and promotions, we talked about a little bit. I tended to run specials on things in the winter that I knew would bring in easy work that was flexible for us. I liked area rugs because we can go pick the rug up whenever, clean it whenever, bring it back just whenever the customer needs it back. We had some flexibility with when that work got done. So if I wanted the rug to be cleaned Tuesday at 11 because I don't have a customer scheduled Tuesday at 11, that's when my guys would go clean the rugs. We also ran upholstery cleaning a lot in the winter. I liked running upholstery cleaning specials. So if you're trying to think of what could I promote right now that's not carpet cleaning, nobody's biting on carpet cleaning, definitely look at upholstery cleaning. A lot of people don't like doing upholstery cleaning, especially taller guys. Hurts your back. Some people like carpal tunnel, I don't know. But we liked it. There's a ton of people searching for it. In the second to carpet cleaning, upholstery cleaning is the second most searched for service that most carpet cleaners are offering. So if you're not promoting upholstery cleaning to your list right now, to your customers, if you're not promoting it in your ads, give it a shot. Run a special on upholstery this time of year. I really like upholstery for 2 reasons. Number one, it can be done by one person for the most part. So if you're short people this time of year, if you're trying to just fill schedules for people, send one guy out to do upholstery, send another guy out to do a carpet job. You can split things up. The other thing I like about upholstery is that it tends to be high ticket, like area rug cleaning. So if you're picking up rugs and cleaning them by the square foot, charging for pet treatment, that tends to be higher ticket. If you're cleaning sofas, sectionals, those types of things, as long as you're charging good prices, and you should be, you can make a good ticket off of those. So I would definitely promote those other services. You might have other services that you offer, something else that might help you out this time of year. But just think through those things. Am I really pushing everything that I have to offer to my hottest customers right now? Am I giving them good offers that would convince them to actually book with me this time of year? Just think through it, because every couple of jobs that you can book from promotion will help you. Plus, if you're staying active, thinking about the problem, marketing to your customers and talking to your customers, it'll keep you from going crazy thinking about how slow maybe it is, or how tight the finances are, or did this guy pay me on time? Has he put the check in the mail yet? Is it coming or not? Just try to stay busy. The number one thing that I do when I'm stressed out in my business is just talk to customers, talk to clients, and hear about what's going on with them, and try to find problems that I can solve for them. And then inevitably I end up solving all of my own problems through the course of solving theirs. Financial planning, I want to touch on for just a minute. And this is not something I usually talk about. We can go deeper on promotions, on what to do with employees. If you guys have questions on that stuff, I certainly want to hear it when we get to the Q&A time. But let's talk about managing your cash flow, because the other big thing I see this time of year is it's not just that carpet cleaners are saying, I'm slow, my phone's not ringing, nobody's calling. It's really that they don't have money in the bank. They're struggling to cover their bills. They've got payroll and it just keeps coming, and they don't have as much cash in their bank account as they wish they have by the time they run payroll. And I've been in every one of those situations over and over again. I had those situations in my own carpet cleaning business. There were times when I hardly made anything from my business at all, especially in the winter months. Things got really light for me sometimes. A little bit of planning goes a long way. I'm not going to recommend any specific system. I did just finish a book yesterday called Profit First. Some of you guys saw that I posted it. I know a lot of you guys have read Profit First or have it on the bookshelf, have it queued up, and you want to read it. I think it's a good system, could certainly help you out. The big thing that I would stress for you, though, is that if you have a seasonal trend in your business where you know it slows down certain times a year, maybe you haven't come to terms with that yet. I've talked to carpet cleaning business owners who it's maybe their first year in business or their second year in business, and they still haven't, come to terms with the seasonality of it. Or maybe they think they're going to come up with a plan that's going to solve it, eliminate it, they'll outsmart it somehow. And I really hope that you do. But if it's just the nature of your business, if you look at your finances every single year and month to month, you see it go like this and then like this, and it happens every single year, then at some point you have to maybe stop fighting it and come up with a way to like jujitsu it. Don't keep struggling with it. Figure out how to use that to your advantage somehow. So what I would recommend you do is look at how much profit you take in during your busiest months. And if you're not profiting enough in your business, then maybe the book Profit First will help you figure out how to open up more profit in your business. But look at how much money you're making during those busiest months and look at what you're spending it on. And a lot of times you'll notice that you could probably be just a little bit smarter with that money. And I think the easiest thing that you could do is to take a small percentage of your profits every one of your busy months, take a small percentage of your profit, stick it into another account, savings account, another checking account, whatever. I don't care where you take it. Just move it somewhere else. Take what you make in April, May, June, July, August, September, those good months, take a little portion of it and stick it aside, not for taxes, stick it aside for the seasonal dip that you're inevitably going to have. You can do the same thing for big bills too. If you know that you have to, pay a big renewal fee on something that's $5,000 once a year, and you always get caught off guard by that bill. There's an example they gave in Profit First. You can just know that bill's coming up, break it down, divide it by 12, save that amount every month of the year. And then when that bill comes up, you'll have the money on hand to do it. Do the same thing in your business. In the busy months, take a little portion of it, set it aside. When you have your slow months, you'll be glad it's there. It can be as simple as that, just to even out the cash flow issue in your business. Stop fighting the seasonality, but just plan for it a little bit more carefully. You might have to take a look at some of the things you're spending money on in your business. It could be equipment. It could be all kinds of stuff, chemicals. It could be marketing. It could be whatever. Maybe it's meals. Maybe it's travel. Maybe it's your pickup truck. I don't know. Whatever you're writing off in your business, take a look at it and figure out where you can open up a little bit more profit, and then put it aside knowing that there's a seasonal trend in your business. I think a lot of more mature business owners in this space have figured this out years ago, and they laugh at some of the guys who struggle with it, because I've heard from some of the carpet cleaners I've met over the years that they set aside, they know it's going to be slow. And when winter hits, they go take a vacation. They always take a 2-week vacation in the middle of the winter, and you'll see them in Mexico or wherever. And it's literally just planning in most of those cases. That's the difference is just planning, knowing that it's coming and not being surprised when the slow season hits. So the reason I mentioned that now, if you're in a cash situation right now, if you're in a tough situation right now, it's probably not helpful to hear it today. But think about this as we get into the busier season. It's about to be March. The phones are going to start to ring more if it's slow in your area. By summer, start thinking about some of those little changes that you could make to your finances in your business. Think about how you could address the seasonal nature of your business in a little bit smarter way. Read Profit First if you want to. There's a ton of other good books out there that could be useful to you as well. But just plan for that stuff. You could even talk to a financial advisor or a CPA or something and see if they have recommendations for you. Talk to your friends who are really good at saving money and paying down debt and that kind of stuff. The one other thing I'll mention on this, by the way, because Kelly and I were talking about this yesterday. I was reading one of the chapters at the end of Profit First, and something he said to me really stood out. And this doesn't really have a ton to do with seasonality. We were talking about adding additional services earlier, so I want to bring it up. One of the things that he mentioned in Profit First is that he had this lawn care guy. And I don't know if this story is true or not. The guy who wrote this book had a lawn care guy. And one day his lawn care guy came by to clean up all the leaves in his yard for $200. He does it every year. And while he was there, he noticed that there were leaves in the gutter. So he knocked on the door and his lawn care guy says, "Hey, if there's leaves in your gutter, do you want me to get those too?" So he goes up on the roof and he's cleaning out the gutter. And then he realizes he needs a downspout tool to get the leaves out of the downspout. And he sees a soft spot on the roof and he notices an issue with the chimney. So he comes down off the roof, he knocks on the door again, and he says, "Hey man, I got to run and get some tools, but I noticed there's an issue with your chimney. I noticed a soft spot. Do you want me to fix that as well? It'll be $1,500. The guy says, "Yep," sends him off. He goes and gets his tools, comes back later, gets all the leaves out of the gutters, fixes the spot on the roof, fixes the chimney, hires a guy to come and help him do all that stuff so he can finish the work. And then the end of the story basically is that this guy made a $1,500 ticket out of a $200 customer, which sounds amazing. It sounds like really big growth. He took a $200 customer who was just going to get his leaves cleaned up on his lawn and turned him into a $1,500 ticket, which was awesome. Except when he compared it to another lawn guy who services the same neighborhood. This other lawn guy just does the leaf pickup, $200. And in the time that this one guy was doing his $1,500 job, the other guy went and did 5 $200 jobs. So he didn't make as much money. He made $1,000 that day, but he only had to do leaf pickup. He didn't have to go and buy a bunch of tools from Home Depot. He didn't have to hire extra help. He didn't have to train the help on how to do it. He didn't have to learn how to do 5 different jobs that day in order to service his customers. He just had to do one job 4 or 5 times, and he made almost as much money, but not as much. And the point of that story was that the guy who just does the same work over and over again had a lot more efficiency in his business versus the guy who had to go and run to the store a couple times to get tools and hire somebody to help him do the job. He may have made more money with that business, but he spent more money doing it too. He also had to be an expert in 5 different areas. He had to hire help, who the help had to be an expert in different areas now. And now he has a much more complicated business that he has to try to manage. And as I was reading this story, I stopped and I literally read the pages back to Kelly, who's my wife, who helps me run BookCleaningJobs. You guys have seen her on these calls before. And I read her this story and I said to her, this is exactly why we stopped offering tile and grout cleaning and hardwood floor cleaning when we had our carpet cleaning business. And you might think I'm nuts for not offering those services. And you might be right, but there was a reason I didn't offer them. The reason I didn't offer them was because after the first 3 years I was in business, we had done just a ton of carpet cleaning jobs, ton of upholstery cleaning jobs, bunch of area rug jobs, and we were pretty good at that stuff. We had it nailed. We had it all checklisted. We had it figured out. Every once in a while, we would get tile and grout jobs, but not as often as we wanted. And it was always a pain. We would always do okay at it. Our equipment was never what we wanted. The chemicals never worked the way we wanted. We just weren't experts at it. Same thing with hardwood. Every once in a while, we would get a hardwood job. And the thing is, every time we would get called in for one of those jobs, my technicians who are out in the field, they didn't know how to do it. I'd have to come out and help them. I'd have to take time out of my turnkey business that I didn't want to be involved in the day-to-day with and go help them learn how to do something, because that's how my business worked at the time. And so it made us a lot less efficient. I also realized that we started to buy a little bit more equipment for this stuff. We got a little bit better tile cleaning stuff. We invested a little bit, but I realized that most of the time, all that equipment was just sitting there because my crews were out cleaning carpets and upholstery all day. Sometimes they'd pick up an area rug and bring it back, but very rarely were they doing tile and grout. Very rarely were they doing hardwood. And every time they had to stop and do it, it was like they had to relearn the process over and over again. And I realized after a little while, it just wasn't efficient. And the reason it wasn't efficient for us, by the way, is because we were a low moisture carpet cleaning company. So it's not like we could just unhook the carpet wand, put on a spinner, change the chemicals, and then clean tile. No, we had to go from one carpet cleaning system, low moisture, we were using 175s and all that stuff, to a completely different system. And it slowed us down. It made us really inefficient. And we didn't get enough of that work to really justify doing it. So I finally just said, rather than taking that work and taking the risk that comes along with it and paying to have that equipment sitting there and paying to fix the equipment every time it breaks and paying to have chemicals on the shelf that I'm hardly using and paying for my time to be there on the job, I just said, we're not going to do it anymore. It doesn't make sense for us. It's inefficient. I can't scale this business if it's not efficient. I need to be able to send people out and know that they're going to get the job done without needing to call anybody else in for help. They're not going to have to do 5 different things during the week. They're just doing 2 or 3 things that they have figured out. So I was thinking about that story with Kelly the other night because I think it's an important point. I see a lot of, and it ties back to the finances too, because I see a lot of our clients who I know are smart people. That's not the issue. And they want to make money with their business, and they're buying the equipment and they're investing in the training that they need to make more money in their business. And depending on your goals, you could actually be working against your best interest here. If your goals are to have an employee run business that's efficient and that you can take a step back from, then it might not make a lot of sense to keep adding on additional services and making things more and more complicated. If you can just do more of the same things over and over, just more carpet, just more upholstery, then do that. It'll be a simpler and more efficient business, easier to train people, easier to hire people, make them successful. If those are your goals, do it that way. If you are an owner operator who doesn't plan to hire a bunch of people, maybe a helper at best, and you just want to maximize your earnings potential, then maybe it does make sense to add on additional services and to go for higher ticket services. Maybe it does. You got to think about what your particular goals are, what your situation is, and decide for yourself. But one thing I'll warn you is that I see a lot of people buy a lot of equipment and then it just sits there. I have a ton of clients that have talked to me about equipment that they bought that it's for adding an additional service, whether it's pressure washing, air duct cleaning, even area rug clean, restoration, mold remediation, just everything else. And sometimes it works out, right? And sometimes that stuff just ends up going to the wayside and sitting there, and you've spent money on equipment and maybe you're still paying it off even. Maybe it's not even paid off and it's not getting used that often and it's taking you further and further, or it's taking your eye off the ball. Those are some of the things that I've seen working with a whole bunch of carpet cleaners over the years. And some of the things that if I could just impart advice on anybody, it would be to think carefully about the stuff you're buying in your business. Think carefully about how much use you're going to get out of it, how much of a return on investment you're going to get, and if it really makes sense for you to add those services and that equipment to your business. If it truly makes sense and it's a good investment, absolutely go do it. But if you can be scrappier or more efficient in some way, maybe that's a better fit for your goals too. And maybe it'll help with your finances if you don't have to buy a bunch of new equipment this year to add on more services. So I don't know. That's the point of that talk. All right, Kelly, I said I wouldn't pick on you too much. I don't know if you're there and available because I know that you're feeling pretty sick today. Is there anything important that you feel like I should cover or that I said I would cover and left off?
No, I think you got it all.
Okay. I appreciate everybody listening to my crazy ramblings. So one thing I want to touch on is that at BookCleaningJobs, we've tried to help a whole bunch of carpet cleaners and other cleaning business owners over the years in a whole bunch of different ways. I have a YouTube channel. I've posted, I don't know how many videos on there, at least a couple hundred. I post on Facebook. We've made a group. We send out emails. I've tried to do a bunch of stuff, and I've tried to give most of it away because the truth is you can reach a lot more people if you just make good content and put good information out there and just give it away for free. So that's been my strategy for the most part. We sell marketing services, obviously. So I work with carpet cleaners and other cleaning business owners all over the US. We do our growth plans. We run Google ads, but not everybody wants to hire us for that. Not everybody wants to work with us on that stuff, and not everybody's ready for it. It's just not a fit for everybody. So in a lot of ways, I've felt like there's our free stuff and you can enjoy my free stuff on YouTube, or you can spend a bunch of money on marketing and grow your business like some of our crazy clients are doing, right? And there's no in between. There's no in between at all. There's no cheaper way to really work with us. And I always have felt like I'm letting down the carpet cleaning community in some way by not doing something to help just the whole mass of carpet cleaning companies out there that are not currently working with us. So I've tried to address this in a couple of ways recently. One thing we're doing is we've put out software. We're putting out more tools right now and putting out more swipe files, more templates, more stuff like that, that just anybody can take and use in their business. This CRM is a great example of that. We are offering the CRM to anybody. You don't have to be one of our clients to use it. We're giving it to all of our clients as well, but anybody who wants to get on the CRM and use it to improve your business, it's there. It's inexpensive. It starts at $97 a month. So for anybody who's not looking to spend a few grand a month on marketing, the CRM is one option for you. Something else that I've had on my mind forever, and I don't know why I didn't do it until now, was putting together a course specifically to help people who wanted to start and grow a carpet cleaning business fast. I talked to a lot of people who are making money with their carpet cleaning business, $5,000 a month, $6,000 a month, but they're just not making enough to feel like they have a real business, or to feel like they could hire, or to feel like they could expand, or to feel like they're meeting their goals. So after putting a lot of thought into it, I finally decided that I have to do something to help these people. I have to put together some sort of a course, a program, a something just to help people who haven't made their first $10,000 a month with their carpet cleaning business yet. I mentioned this on Facebook the other day, that I had something specifically for people who haven't made their first 10K a month yet. And I'm going to tell you guys about it here first. I'm going to tell you how you can get access to it if you want it. What I put together is Carpet Cleaning Profits. This is a complete course of 3.5 hours plus of really in-depth videos about how to start and run a carpet cleaning business and get it to $10,000 a month or more. This is specifically for people who want to understand how the carpet cleaning business works from an operations perspective, a hiring perspective, marketing, all of those pieces, the technology that's involved. This is not going to teach you how to clean carpets. I'm not the person you want to learn how to clean carpets from anyways. This is a resource specifically for people who want to understand the business of carpet cleaning, people who maybe they've been in business for a while and they just feel like they're missing something. There's something that's holding them back from getting to that level. And a lot of times, if you're not making 10 grand a month with your business yet, then there's limited options that I have to try to help you with your business, because a lot of what we do at BookCleaningJobs in terms of running ads and stuff, it costs money. And a lot of people, if you're making 3 grand a month with your business, it feels crazy to spend 2 or 3 grand a month with your business. And I get that. So what I want is something that will help all of those carpet cleaners build their way up to that level, so that if they want to have a $10,000 a month cleaning business and they've never been able to hit that, I'm hoping that this course will help them do it. You guys that are on this call, people who are clients at BookCleaningJobs, I want to tell you how you can get early access to it, because I have not even officially announced this to like everybody that we plan to announce it to. I haven't sent any emails about it. I really haven't done anything at all other than bust my butt to finish this course. So this is it right here. The course itself is going to live inside of our community that I've created for BookCleaningJobs. I'm going to tell you how to get access to this. If you're in our CRM, if you have access to our CRM, if you're a paid CRM user, there's a tab over here on the left that says community. We're going to invite all of our clients and all of our paid CRM users into the community. And inside of the community, I'm going to drop this course. If you go into the community right now, you're going to see all of the recordings from the coaching calls that we've been doing recently. There'll be a learning tab and you'll see the course right here once I've added you into it. This is the course. I'm not going to show you everything in depth, but if I can get it to load here, which is questionable, the Wi-Fi is being slow, I'll show you what's inside briefly. So just to give you some idea of what is in here. In this course, we're specifically going to cover how to get started with your carpet cleaning business. So if you're literally starting from $0 We'll start from the very, very beginning, literally setting up your business, filing your business, getting everything that you need to get off the ground properly and get everything registered, which is really important these days. Because if you go try to get a Google profile or something like that, you might have to show proof that your business is real. So we cover all of that. We talk about understanding your market and your competition, how to price your services and how to define your packages and your promotions, how to manage your schedule and your operations. We talk about marketing. We talk about software and tools. We talk about hiring, finances, profit margins, customer service, sales skills. I tried to put everything that I could possibly put into this. And when I say that I put a ton of time into it, I am not kidding. I think this is the most comprehensive course I have ever put together for anything in my life. And I combined all of the experience that I had running my business and selling my business, as well as everything I've learned from working with hundreds of carpet cleaners all over the United States over the last couple of years. So all of your stories may have helped contribute to the creation of this course. And the whole idea is that I want to make this the most valuable tool that I could possibly give to somebody who's looking to succeed with their carpet cleaning business. This is going to go really in depth for you. There's a ton of bonuses packed into here as well. So it's not just going to be videos and then you're done. We're giving you price sheet templates, phone scripts, email scripts. I even included a commercial appointment setting script in here, employee checklists, and a couple other things. So all of this is going to be included in this course. If you're a client at BookCleaningJobs, we're going to add you into the community and we're going to give you access to this course right away. You'll have early access. If you're a subscriber, if you're paying for our CRM and using it, we're going to do the exact same thing. If you are neither of those, but you want to get early access to this course, what I would recommend you do is go to bookcleaningjobs.com/CRM, start this free trial. After your free trial converts to a paid membership in 2 weeks, you'll get automatically granted access to the course. If you can wait that long. So this is just early access for people who want to go get it right now. I haven't done anything to launch this or promote it or anything. I haven't even talked about pricing for people who want to buy it, but that's how you can get it right now. So if you're a client of ours, go get it. If you're using our CRM, go get it. If you're not any of those yet, get the CRM if you want, and then you can get access once your trial converts. And then I will be talking about this a lot more in the next couple of weeks. I'll send some emails about it and I'll let you know how you can get it. And there will probably be some other fun announcements related to this as well, especially for those of you who maybe have YouTube channels or you post a lot on social media. I got something cool for you guys that I think you'll like, some of you. I think that's all I want to say on the course for now. If you guys go check it out, if any of you are clients and go in there and watch the videos, what I would really love is just feedback from you on whether you think this would be valuable to people who are just getting into the carpet cleaning business. You might be further ahead. You're probably more successful, especially if you're a client. You're probably past this, but I think there's going to be stuff in this course that's going to be helpful for people at all levels of the game. So what I would love to hear from you guys is, do you think that this course would be a valuable tool for carpet cleaners? Do you think this would help them out? If you could give me that feedback, please, that would be super helpful. All right. I have talked enough on this call. I would love to open up for questions. If anybody has questions tonight, comments, contributions, what do you guys got for me today? And I appreciate your time. Several of you guys have been on these calls for the last few weeks, and I just want to say thank you for taking the time on a Monday to sit here and chat with me. That's really cool. Adam says, thank you. Appreciate the information. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate you being here. Anybody at all questions tonight? You guys busy lately? How are your schedules looking right now? Because I'm hearing from some people that it's not as slow of a slow season as it usually is. I'm curious to hear how you guys are doing though. Chris, I think we've talked recently. I know how you're doing. Anybody else? Quiet group tonight. That's all right. We don't have to do Q&A. If you do have questions though, then what I would encourage you to do always, please go to the Facebook group. It's Cleaning Business Success, and post your questions in there. If you just have general questions about what to do in your business or what to do with your employees or whatever, go drop it in here. We'll answer your questions there. If there's no questions on tonight's call, then I won't hold you hostage. We'll post this recording later on for people. And I appreciate you spending time with us tonight. 3 houses a day for the past 3 weeks, says Anthony. All right. Not bad, dude. Not bad. Pretty solid. That sounds all right. Yeah, I'd be happy with it. I'd love to hear how your average tickets are looking, man. We can talk about that later. I hope you're getting a whole bunch of high tickets out of these. All right. I think we'll leave it at that. A lot of upholstery. Yep, a lot of, that's what I'm saying, guys. Upholstery. I don't know what it is. It's the second most requested thing right after carpet cleaning. And every time I hear somebody say, I don't like doing upholstery cleaning, all I hear is I don't like making money. I get not wanting to do the upholstery cleaning, but it will make you money. encourage you to add upholstery cleaning. It does suck. I know it sucks. Got 8 new reviews in a week using the CRM. Chris, killing it, dude. That's awesome. That's really cool. Congrats, man. That'll help, especially if Google takes away your reviews, which I know we talked about that Google review bug. It seems like everybody, for the most part, has gotten their reviews back. So I think everybody's in good shape now. I heard from a handful of people that they're still missing reviews, but do what Chris is doing. Ask for reviews from every single customer that you have. Just keep those numbers going up and up. I mean, even if you lose a handful of reviews here and there, your competitors are dealing with the same stuff. So it's not just you. All right. If there's no questions, then we'll wrap it up there. This slow season is almost over, I promise. If you're a client and need help, reach out. You know how to find us. If you're not a client yet and need help, again, reach out. We'll do this call again next week. What's that?
Oh, I think I took the mute off. Sorry about that. I didn't have a question, Ruben. I just want to say thank you for all the information that you're handing out. It's super valuable and appreciated on every level.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Hey, Sean, I saw you raise your hand for a second. I'm still here if you need me, man.
Oh, hey, Ruben. It's
Amada.
Amada. Yeah.
I just want to say hi.
Oh, Sean just wanted to say hi.
What's up, guys? I love it, man.
What's up, brother? We just got done with a $1,900 day.
Hell yeah.
So been a good day. Just to give you a heads up, we just, even with a couple weeks left in the month, we are now tied job for job compared to last February, and our dollar amount is higher, and we still have enough room to fill multiple spots. And we got our first LSA call today.
Nice.
And we booked it, and it was a commercial job.
What? It was a commercial?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice, dude. I wish that happened every day from LSAs.
Yeah. So just wanted to give you a heads up. Yeah, things have been going good.
Awesome,
We
man.
got like a even first like a good week. I think we're at like 8,000 so far this week.
That's awesome, dude. I'm super glad to hear that. You guys are crushing it. Keep it up.
Thank you. For February, I can't complain.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, absolutely not. I'd be stoked with that, honestly.
So just wanted to say hi real quick.
And they
Cool.
just finished an upholstery job too, talking about upholstery.
I don't know what it is with upholstery. We sold a ton of upholstery.
$740 and $150 tip just now.
Nice. $150 tip.
Yeah.
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 I
That's
love
a
that.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.